Dimitri?
The people call Gloria Marsh to the stand.
That would be Gloria Merrick.
Is it true?
Hi, Gloria, this is Tad. Are you there? Honey, can you hear me? If you're there, pick up, please. Myrtle, listen, if you get this, will you please check on Gloria? Stop her if she's about to leave. Do whatever you have to, but don't let her walk out the door before I can talk to her. I have to talk to her.
Could you tell us exactly what you meant when you said you were out of your mind to keep Sonia?
I felt adrift,
Could you be more specific?
lost,
But you knew where you were.
physically, but everything else was in a different place, and there was nothing to lean on, no one to hold on to,
Meaning Mr. Merrick wasn't there.
or the child I'd been carrying. I felt nothingness. I felt completely empty.
It sounded as though you lost the sense of reality.
I felt that I was drifting alone in the middle of a large ocean, and Sonia saved my life.
Miss Kane, how did you feel when your father walked out on you and your mother?
Objection, leading the witness. Mr. Dillon?
Goes to the heart of my client's mental condition at the time of the alleged kidnapping.
Objection overruled. You may restate the question, Mr. Dillon.
Thank you, Your Honor. Miss Kane, when your father abandoned you, how did that make you feel?
Worthless.
Do you feel his lack of concern for you influenced your life?
Profoundly.
Threatened your sense of security? Made having relationships more difficult?
All my life.
So when Mr. Merrick said to Maria Santos Gray that the baby would be better off dead because Edmund would never learn to love her...
I understood so well the cruelty, the misery that lay ahead for Sonia.
And so you decided to keep her.
Well, I couldn't bear the thought of anyone hurting her.
Didn't you feel more intensely than that at the time?
Objection. He's leading the witness again. Sustained.
I'll rephrase the question, Your Honor. You were extremely worried about Sonia's welfare, weren't you?
I was terrified. Sonia, I mean, Madeline she was so helpless. I had to protect her.
What about Maria Santos Gray? Weren't you concerned about the pain you were causing her?
My first instinct was to give the baby back.
And why didn't you?
Fear.
For the child's sake.
Of course. I couldn't subject that little baby to a whole lifetime of misery and cruelty and hatefulness. I had to keep her safe and sound and loved, and that was what I wanted to do. And I thought the only way to do that at the time was to keep her with me. I know now that was wrong, but I couldn't see it at that time. And I had gotten out of touch with reality. I had crossed the line.
Bravo! Bravo, Erica. A brilliant performance.
Sky,
Uncle Stuart.
you did it, didn't you? You came clean with Edmund and Maria?
I wrote the letter. Confessed everything. Daddy told me that I shouldn't have.
Why?
I'd create another scandal. Make the family look bad. He was furious.
But you'd already given him the letter?
I tried to get it back, but I couldn't.
Then things will work out the way they should.
No, they won't. If Edmund and Maria read that letter, they'll hate me forever, and Daddy will detest me too. I'm dead.
Well, bless Janet for trading flights, huh?
Yeah.
Sweetie, why don't you take the window seat? I'll hold Mary on my lap.
Excuse me. We've had a no-show in row number 4 next to your friend. If one of you would like to switch with her, we'll have an empty seat so you can strap in the baby carrier.
Okay.
Oh,
That'd be great, thanks.
Thank you.
Why don't I do that? Give you a break.
Or I could switch with Brooke, and then that way you guys could get some work done, all that backlog of work, and I could sit with the carrier back there.
Are you sure you don't mind?
Well, this is a short flight, and I will just barely be able to stand the separation from you.
I love you, Maria Santos Gray.
You do? Then prove it. Say bye-bye, Daddy. Bye. We'll see you later. I'm gonna go sit in the back.
Bye, baby.
A sloppy kiss. Thanks, sweetie. I'll see you later.
Got this?
Yeah. Hey, Brooke, do you want to switch seats with me and you guys can get some work done and I'll strap the carrier in?
Sure. You know what? That's a great idea.
Okay. You want me to help?
Thank you. Can you...
Is that okay? No. Can you help? Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
I'm reporting for duty.
Well, buckle on up. Let's get some work done.
Oh, I guess we should.
Should I say buckle down?
Buckle down, buckle up. It's all the same.
Fine.
All My Children, brought to you by S.C. Johnson Wax, makers of Pledge.
Gloria, how's it going?
It's fine. I'm moving out.
Fantastic. You know, I knew my leaving Tad's would speed things along. I was just afraid you guys would take months to patch things up.
Yeah, well, you never know how life's going to work out.
You know, you're also doing a very good deed for the new doctor in town.
Excuse me?
Allie Doyle. She and I, we had dibs on a place here, the same room, and so we flipped a coin. She lost. She had to leave. I kind of felt lousy. So maybe she can take a place here, and I can lose a guilt trip.
Oh.
Tad has no idea how lucky he is. I'm really happy for you guys.
No, see, Tad and I, we didn't work things out. And we're never getting married. Ever.
Order in the court. Mr. Merrick, that is the last time you will disturb these proceedings. One more word, one more
Myrtle,
sound.
you know where Gloria is?
I don't know, but she may have gone to lunch, darling.
Good. Maybe I can talk to her alone.
This courtroom will come to order. I will have the room cleared. Proceed, Mr. Dilling.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Kane, could we go back to what you were saying before? You said you felt you had crossed a line, that you had lost touch with reality.
I wasn't rational.
More simply?
I was totally emotional. I was not sane. I don't mean that as an excuse. I just mean that as an explanation.
You acted insanely.
What I did was terrible. I understand that now. I just didn't then. It went on too long. I hurt people very much, and for that I am so sorry. I'm truly sorry. I will be sorry till my dying day.
No further questions. Your witness.
Miss Kane, you kept this baby away from her mother, what, 3.5 months?
Yes.
And you want us to believe that you didn't know what you were doing. Tell me, what made it so easy to forget whose child Madeline really was?
I didn't forget, exactly. But Maria and Edmund kept talking about their baby boy, Matthew. And that seemed very separate from Sonia.
So because you had rescued Madeline from Esther, because you had diagnosed her milk allergy, come up with the soy milk solution, raised this child on a daily basis, this created a bond between you and this baby that, what, blotted out reality?
Yes.
So, in the ensuing weeks, this insanity, it just grew and took on a life of its own.
Yes.
I see. Could you please tell us about the night that Madeline was born? Why in the world was Maria Santos Gray in that cabin?
I got her there.
Got her there. Isn't it more accurate to say that you lured her there? That you lied to her? So that you could trap her? So that you could exact your jealous revenge on her? Without considering the fact that you were endangering the life of not only Maria, but that of her unborn child?
What are you saying?
Objection, Your Honor.
Overruled. Miss Kane, you must answer the question.
Allow me to restate the question. Were you insane then? Or did this condition only appear later?
I just wanted to talk to Maria. I wanted to hear her admit that she had committed adultery with Mr. Merrick.
Without thinking about the risks that you were subjecting her to?
No.
Even when she went into labor?
I thought that I would hate their baby. But the truth is, when Maria finally began to deliver the child...
What, things changed somehow?
Yes. I had never delivered a baby before. And I was completely overwhelmed. I mean, when I held that little baby Sonia in my arms, there was no hate in me. A surge of love just swept me away.
But before you were swept away by that surge of love, you had lured a woman in her final trimester of pregnancy to a remote cabin where you proceeded to browbeat a confession of adultery out of her, not letting up for 1 minute on your verbal abuse until she went into a premature labor, forcing her to deliver that baby without the benefit or safety or medical assistance that a hospital could have offered her. You forced her to give birth to her child in a dangerous and life-threatening situation.
Objection, Your Honor. There's no medical proof that Erica Kane caused the premature birth of the child.
Sustained.
I have no further questions.
Redirect.
The defense rests, Your Honor.
Mr. Montgomery, Mr. Dillon, you may proceed with your closing arguments. Miss Kane, you may step down.
Couldn't you just try thinking something good will happen?
Like someone accidentally tossed it in the trash? Or maybe a gust of wind could blow it away.
Sure, could happen.
Maybe. Thank you, Uncle Stuart. So I think I'm gonna go back to the office. It's better than sitting in the dark thinking the worst.
Well, at least you can accomplish something at any rate.
Right.
Sky, I'm always here, you know. I mean, if you want to talk or anything.
I know.
You can tell me anything, Sky.
I wish I could tell you this, but I need you to love me.
Sky, I will always love you.
Not if you knew what I did.
Always love you. No matter what. Bye. Hello, Esther.
So we'll push all the hot button issues, we'll cram them into the 3 fall issues, and then we'll run the marketing plan at the same time.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Just like that.
I'm just distracted. Laura just recently got a hold of her mother's diary. Scott brought it back from New York.
That's a voice from the grave.
Yeah. I mean, I can just imagine how painful the memories have to be for Laura.
You remember David Merton's piece in our last issue?
Oh, yeah, parenting in the 90s. It was very amusing. It was very scary.
But also reassuring. You know, he said that gloom and doom is a fairly normal teenage affliction.
Oh, I know. You know, I mean, I over-exaggerated everything when I was Laura's age.
So, like, what's changed? Look, I took things way too personally myself. The fact is, Laura will survive because you're there. You will listen to her, and you will cry with her, and you will make her laugh again.
Well, the only thing that I can say is Sam and Maddie are very lucky kids.
Hey, you. You want your chew toy? Something I stick in your mouth, I'll bet you do. How's that? What do you think of that, huh? Oh, you know what? We forgot to read this letter. You want to read it with me? You want to hold on to my finger in case you want to do that. Okay. Let's read this together.
All my children will be back in a moment, here on ABC.
Dear Edmund and Maria, Madeline is Edmund's daughter, not just in spirit, but by blood. Dimitri is not her father. I altered the results of your paternity test. Not a match. That was the official finding of the Center City lab. I deleted the not to punish Maria and to force her to expose her affair. One mean-spirited stroke at the keyboard, and I managed to break 4 people's hearts. There's no way to explain what I did, and no reason for you to forgive me. I'll have to live with the shame for the rest of my life. But I can't go on living with a lie.
Come here, sweetie pie. Come here. Oh, come on out of there. Can you come out? Oh. You know what? I knew it the whole time. I just always felt that I knew that you were Edmund's baby. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. And Edmund's gonna be so happy. Oh my God, this is gonna make him so happy.
Don't tell me you're still at the Pine Home.
Oh, yeah, it's warm, it's fuzzy, it's home.
It's a rat hole. It's filthy, and it's disgusting. Look, you don't want a place where the clientele rents by the hour, okay?
No. Hey, guys.
Hey.
Hey. Go, buddy.
Will it be late lunch, early dinner?
Both. So, Dr. Doyle, how's your cushion new pad?
Oh, Dr. Martin. Just perfect.
Oh, that's too bad.
Why?
Myrtle has a new room, just opened up.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, why don't you give me the facts? Maybe I can get out of my lease.
You're just in time to help me clean my brushes if you'd like to.
Sure. Do you think that I'm a coward for not going back to the courtroom to be there for Erica?
Do you think you're a coward?
Mm-hmm. Sometimes. In crowds and, you know, in that courtroom with everybody staring at me. It was pretty scary.
Yeah, well, it can be very scary when people stare at you, but that doesn't make you a coward.
It doesn't?
No. I thought you were very brave in that courtroom. And then people stare at us for all kinds of reasons, and sometimes because they like you, you know. Once I was in a bank, and this woman was staring at me. Looking at me like that, like she thought I robbed the place or something.
Oh, that's awful.
And then I realized she wasn't staring at me at all. She was looking at the guy behind me. She didn't have her glasses. She was trying to figure out if she knew him.
Guess you were relieved.
Oh, well, you know, I felt stupid for being so scared. I was embarrassed.
Gee, that's hard to picture, you being embarrassed.
Why?
Oh, because you're always so calm and so royal.
Me? Royal?
Mm-hmm, you are. I think I better go.
Well, Esther? Esther?
Royal. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you all heard the expert witnesses I called to the stand testify as to the authenticity of Erica Kane's postpartum depression. They gave you a clear and unambiguous clinical explanation of the altered state of mind and the bizarre behavior it can cause. They fascinated us with their experiences working with the traumatized psyche. And as several of the eminent psychoanalysts pointed out, this could happen to anyone in the proper stressful conditions. To anyone. That means it could happen to you and to me, right? Yes, this could have happened to you and me in the proper stressful circumstances. Now, let's look at some of the circumstances Erica Kane endured before she had her miscarriage. Think back to that little 9-year-old girl. She wakes up one morning to be told her father has deserted her. Think of the life she lived and suffered with that abandonment complex. Think of the pain she must have endured when she lost her own precious little Bianca in a brutal custody battle. But Erica Kane kept going. She hid her pain. Now, think back and imagine, if you can, the joy she must have felt when, with Dmitri Merrick, she found out she was pregnant. I remember her telling me, I remember her exact words. She called it a miracle, a wonderful miracle. That miracle just turned into a nightmare. She lost her baby. Suddenly, Erica Kane, the indomitable Erica Kane, the superstar Erica Kane, who nobody could keep down, suddenly that Erica Kane snapped. Her mind was so traumatized, she slipped into what our experts described as a fugue condition, where her thinking was totally irrational. But to Erica Kane, it was the truth. How did our experts describe it? An altered mental state causing bizarre behavior, totally uncharacteristic of the person's previous mental processes. A tragedy that could happen to anyone under the proper stressful conditions. to anyone, to you or to me. Ladies and gentlemen, we're not dealing with the premeditated actions of a criminal here. We're dealing with the irrational behavior of a woman who was not well. A woman who, in fact, was clinically insane. Friends, judge Erica Kane as you would want to be judged in this situation. Judge her not guilty. Not guilty.
Mr. Montgomery?
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank you for your time and your attention. I had prepared quite a lengthy summation. I thought it was eloquent, logical, forthright. But what could be more forthright, more eloquent than the defendant's own words? Now, Erica Kane admitted to you that she lured Maria Santos Gray to a remote cabin, that she took her child, that she kept this child, and lied about how she came into the possession of this child. She didn't give this child back until she was this far away from being caught. Now, the defense wants you to believe that Erica Kane did these things because she was the victim of postpartum depression, but I suggest to you that these were not the actions of somebody in the throes of a psychological condition. Rather, these were the actions of a person who coldly and calculatedly were going about their plan. Erica Kane knew what she was doing. She knew every step of the way. She was trying to exact revenge on Maria Santos Gray. Now, for you to return a verdict of not guilty by reason of insanity, you have to believe that Erica Kane had lost her way, that she didn't know the difference between right and wrong. She did. She was doing what she wanted to do. She wanted to punish Maria Santos Gray for what she did to her. So I'm asking you to return a verdict of guilty to all counts.
Bailiff, you will escort the jury to the jury room, please, for deliberation. This court will adjourn until such time as the verdict is returned.
Erica, darling, I am proud of you, sweetheart. The worst is over now. They're going to find you not guilty. I know it. Oh, Trevor, you were brilliant.
Thank you.
Erica, darling, the jury is with you. I could tell from their faces.
Thank you, Myrtle. I hope you're right.
What do you say we go back to my office and wait for the verdict? I don't think it's going to be too long.
Do you really think it's going to happen that fast?
Yeah, I do.
All right. Okay, I'll meet you there. First, there's something that I need to do.
I don't know, Allie. I have to get on the phone with Myrtle. The pine cone's not exactly paradise, you know.
Oh, ouch, the cone. I mean, that's like at the bottom of the no-tell-motel list.
Yeah, well, what's it to you, Martin?
I harbor a little guilt, okay? I mean, I took the room you thought you had, but with Gloria moving out, that leaves a room. We can each have one.
Well, maybe I'll check it out later. Actually, I gotta get back to the hospital, so...
I'm right behind you, right after I get a bite here.
Sounds good. Bon appetit, and Mr. and Mrs. Santos, I see you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
So, hey, Jake, it's too bad you decided to go back to medicine.
Why?
Because Allie has sworn off dating doctors.
That's all right by me. I don't date him either. Thank you.
I know I'm not supposed to be here. I'm not supposed to talk to you, and you're not supposed to talk to me. Well, I waive my rights if that's what you need to hear from me. But there's no way you can hide from me after what you just did to me on that witness stand.
What I did to you.
You ripped my heart out. Is that what a good friend does? Castigating me for luring Maria to the cabin?
That's exactly what you did.
You didn't show one bit of mercy, not 1 ounce of compassion in your voice or on your face. You want to send me away for 20 years, don't you?
Is that what you really think?
What, did you make a deal with Travis? Is that it? You promised to do everything in your power to keep me away from Bianca until she is grown? Until she is married? Until she has her first 2 children? You were setting me up all along, weren't you?
You don't really believe that.
Don't bother, Jack. You can forgive Janet Green, a convicted murderer, but you can't find any compassion for me? Have I really misjudged your feelings for me?
You want to know how I can forgive Janet Green and not forgive you, all right? Janet Green paid for her crimes. That's why. And I'll tell you something else. You think I was rough on you out there in that courtroom? Oh, I could have been a lot rougher. I could have taken you apart.
I left you a note.
I left my reading glasses upstairs. Can you tell me what it said?
I won't be living here any longer. I'm moving in with my
husband. Can't say the word, can you? Well, I'm going to miss you.
Oh, I'm going to miss you too. And I'm going to miss the talks.
Yeah, I've been very happy to have someone to talk with. That's the joy of having a friend. Good luck.
You don't approve of my marriage, do you?
Oh, honey, it's not for me to approve or disapprove. I wonder about a lot of things.
Like why I married Dimitri?
No. Like, do you love Dimitri?
Oh, man, I think that this is true. If what Sky said is true, everything is going to be so different. You know that because if Edmund really is your daddy, he is the most incredible daddy in the entire universe. Do you know that? Oh, my God, I've got to tell him. I've got to tell him he's going to be so happy. Yes, I've got to tell him. Curious, do you see any of those seizures?
What was that? What was that?
Oh.
You see, I was serious when I told that jury I had a long, eloquent summation ready for them. It was a beaut. It would have put you away for years, guaranteed. But I couldn't deliver it. I let my feelings for you get in the way of my doing what needed to be done. So I find out that I'm not the noble, honorable man I thought I was. Instead, I'm just part of what's wrong with our legal system. And I gotta tell you, Erica, that was a real wake-up call for me because I love my job. But I could not do my job. I was just sitting there wondering, I wonder what Lily must think of me, huh? Because I've done everything I know how to make sure that little girl grows up knowing that we have to be responsible for what we do. That we have to take the blame and we deserve it the same way we take the praise when we've earned it. But what kind of an example have I set for her, huh? I took a surefire conviction, and I tossed it right out the window because I let my heart get in the way of my head. But you know something? Oh, what a stiff price we pay when we compromise our principles. Because I don't know if I have it in me to ever practice law again. And you, if you walk out of that trial scot-free, your life is never going to be the same. Everywhere you go, everybody you meet, they're all going to be thinking the same thing. There's Erica Kane. There's the woman that got away with kidnapping another woman's child. And all the whispers, and all the looks, and all that guilt is going to be with you until you go to your grave. And when you explain it to Bianca, what is she going to think? Is she going to think that she doesn't have to live by the same rules as everybody else? Is she going to think that she can do whatever the hell she wants as long as she's sure that she can get away with it? Well, I think it might be a little too late for me. But maybe it's not too late for you. If I were you, I'd ask myself a question. Is that what I really want?
It must be the fastest deliberation in the history of this state. But the jury has reached a verdict.
If you can look me straight in the face and tell me you're head over heels in love with Dimitri, I will throw rice and tie tin cans to his rolls.
Well, fairy tale passions aren't the only reason people get married.
Is paying back a man you think has wronged you a reason for marrying another fella? Did you do it because your pride was hurt?
Thanks for the talks, and thanks for everything, Ron.
Just a minute, Don. Hello? Yes? Oh, thank you. The jury's back. You take care of yourself. Do you hear me?
Stay tuned for scenes from the next All My Children.
For 3 million families, bedwetting is a fact of life. But this can really help. Pull-Up's Goodnights absorbent underpants. Goodnights give kids back their confidence. They look like grown-up briefs. With such a trim fit, they practically disappear under pajamas. Until your child leaves this phase behind, good nights mean good mornings.
Hope your washer and dryer can handle that.
I think they're on their final season.
Well, Sears has all appliances and electronics on sale right now.
They do?
Yep. Top names like GE, Kenmore, Packard Bell, Sony.
So I could really clean up.
If you hurry, sale ends Saturday.
Gee, I dropped my fry.
Hey, you're messing up my car.
Oops, dropped the ketchup.
Now you can try the new Bacon Ranch Twister, plus a Pepsi, just $2.99.
The world's a germy place. That's why you need Dial. Dial gets rid of the dirt you see and kills the germs you can't see. Over the years, Dial has killed more germs than any other soap. So at the end of the day, aren't you glad you use Dial?
Is a toilet bowl cleaner that disinfects really that important?
Again, it's your ball.
You decide. Lysol toilet bowl cleaner.
Maybe you're tired of makeup that misbehaves.
Maybe you're ready for real news. Now from Maybelline Great Wear Budge-Proof Makeup. Great Wear.
It stays on, won't come off in your clothes, and feels great, too.
The exclusive lightweight formula makes the difference. It gives you a flawless look all day without that heavy makeup feel.
If only everything behaved so well.
New Great Wear Budge-Proof Makeup.
Maybe she's born with it. Maybe it's Maybelline.
I predict on Tuesday the 17th, Flight 6 will be delayed, and my husband will get heartburn. On Saturday, my son Jeffrey will have diarrhea just as his train leaves for college.
Maybe you can't predict stomach problems, but you can always predict the right medicine. While some medicines relieve just a few stomach problems, only Pepto-Bismol relieves all 5.
On Sunday, his mother will serve linguine and indigestion. I predict relief.
Pepto-Bismol. 5 stomach problems, 1 medicine.
Tomorrow on All My Children.
Your Honor, the jury finds...
I have something to say.
I did not sleep with Liza. Now, either you believe me or you don't.
Tonight, Amy Beale was an all-American girl who set out to make a difference, but the path she took led to her death. Turning Point, ABC tonight. Stay tuned for One Life to Live next.